Hello and welcome to Matt's Rocks. Today I'm going to do another agate just like that last one that I had done on agate disaster. This is up to date. Today's the 2nd of January. Let me see if I can get it to show up a little bit. Maybe it'll work. I'll throw the footage from the other camera. If this one does, if this camera doesn't doesn't show this good enough, the lines are subtle in there, fortification lines, but there are quite a few of them. It's kind of blurry, almost like it's. Hopefully, I don't think it's straight. Now the last one had a fracture across it, and that's the one that I broke. This is another piece of it. It's got more of a arch in here. I'm going to have to take quite a bit of this off on these sides. I can probably still fit it in this way if I take enough off and keep that curve in there, and then I'll maybe make it hang like this. I've got a few eyes in the back. I think I can show those without washing out anything else. But you can see that eye there, and then there's another one that's not showing up as good. But that's the bottom of it on the other side. That's why it's not showing up, because it's got that fracture in it on this side. That fracture coming into it there. I may not be able to keep much of that, but I'm going to try to keep as much as I possibly can. I at least want to keep that one eye, at least up into here on the back side. And I don't necessarily have to keep it on this other side, depending on which is going to be the front and which is going to be the back. I won't be able to tell that until after I get all this dark stuff off, because this is pretty dark and won't let any light through. But it's going to have, I don't think it's going to have any eyes in it. This one I think the only reason this one did is because they were already there, but that was the way it filled more than likely, only from this end, and maybe it got tilted and came in from the top. I don't know. I don't know how that works, but that's some kind of a vitroidal bubble is what those eyes are. I don't think that's a tube agate. I don't have any more of it left. This is the last piece, I do believe. Yeah, it is, because it's the only one I got over here, and I didn't put any of this in my other containers that I've got slabs in. So let's go ahead and get started here. It's going to take a while to get this rind off and get this shape down here where I can arch that in. I don't want to cut it off straight across or make it like this, because I don't really want to lose. There's another eye. Oh, that's the other eye. That's where that's the outside of that fracture. It fractured out some of that eye. Make it look, and filled it back in. Looks like. Because that looks a lot bigger on this side, the eye center of it, than this. There's just barely a center in that eye, and the back part's not. I don't know. I guess it's about the same amount coming in, but then it spreads out. It may be. I don't know. I'll quit theorizing now, because I've got nothing to go by to tell whether I'm theorizing right. So let's get started on this and see what we can do. I'm just going to take, but like I say on all of them, I'm just going to take off the ugly. I'll get some water flowing here. Need some more felts. I got two that are cut completely through. don't have to get all the way to the end. I started to move my finger and it kicked off. I don't have to get all the way to the ends as long as I get all the way to the center. But I don't think I'm going to do without getting all the way to the ends and still get to the center. So I'll just work on the center till I get there. And what's left of the ends will deal with when I get there. A little bit of this too. You round it off a little and you don't have as much to cut when you're holding it straight away from the stone. The heck is that? Gouge. You can see the kerf marks in the bottom of it now. It's a gouge from the saw. I didn't get all the way down to the center of it. I've seen the other gouges, but this one was just as wide as all the other gouges, but I couldn't see separate kerf marks. There was every quarter of an inch or every 16th of an inch there was a kerf mark. I couldn't see any kerf marks in that second one. It just looked like a wet spot on the agate. Yeah, I'm talking again when the saw's going, when the scabbard's going. Machine's on. Let me put it that way. Uh-oh. Open up another flat, oh, no, I gouged it. I think I'm going to go to the next wheel. Yep, I believe I'm going to go to the next wheel. That's got too big of a grit for getting this last piece of agate, or piece of chip out, and it's part of the chip right there. Let's see if it works any better on this one. Right in there, but I've got there, you can see the lighter spot above my finger there on that edge. There's where I nicked it with the, let's see which one of these comes out better, and see which one I put in. Where I nicked it with the edge of the blade. It's not a deep real deep nick. It's just a few scratches, but I don't want to take a chance of busting any more of that out if it's a fracture in there. I don't think it is, but it may not be necessarily a fracture as to like a peeler agate where the in between layers you get that frosty looking chalcedony or sand or some kind of mica or some kind of sand of one kind or another. Or pyrite dust or limonite dust, and it doesn't actually heal the fracture. The fracture's still there. It's just, it looks healed because that limonite dust provides a straight wall across it, so you can't see that it's an actual fracture, but it's still a fracture. So we'll go to the 220. That fracture's not all that big. It's that dark spot right there. And there's that little set of scratches. I'll do that first. Get that fracture out of there first before I start anything else, in case I have to step back a wheel. Don't want to mess up what I already got done with the 220. Go by stepping back if I just because I can't get this fracture out, you know, I'll have an excuse to, I won't have anything to mess up, let's just put it that way. I'll do that first, get that fracture out of there first before I start anything else, in case I have to step back a wheel. Don't want to mess up what I already got done with the 220, go by stepping back if I, just because I can't get this fracture out, you know. I'll have an excuse to, I won't have anything to mess up, let's just put it that way. End up with flat spots on my corners again if I don't stop messing with his face. Okay, now the only kind of scratches I got are all going long ways. Got some lines that I don't like, but they're just that. They're in the rough stone anyway, so it's just rock dust in the scratches that are from this wheel. Okay, there's my shape. That's the shape I'm going to go with. There's the other side of it. On the top there's those two eyes. Let's try with the other camera and see if this will help. Maybe, I guess not. We'll get it closer to the camera so you can see the two eyes also. But it's not shining or anything yet, so you ain't gonna be able to tell, but they're right in here. And they're just a darker yellow, yellower than this stuff here. Some is about this, one of them's about this color, is that yellow there. The other one's even a little yellower yet. That little square keeps popping up on my little 1-inch screen and makes me think it's going out of focus, but I can't tell because I can't see it. I like this other one. It's got a bigger screen. If it wasn't $500 for the dang camera, I'd probably get another one. I think I can work that. Got a little bit of a flat edge on that. Oh, that's that side I was working. I just thought I was going to. That's the easiest place for it too, because that's where I was running the wheel like this on it. Anyway. Okay. I'm going to start on this corner here because I think I still got a little bit of a fractured off piece or something. Or the edge of a fracture. But I didn't quite get all the way out. From this wheel. I don't know that I trust this. I think I really gouged the hell out of that inner grit, where the inner grit's almost not there, and the only grit that's there is that outer grit, and it's just too sharp because it's only hitting the wheel that much of it whenever you're touching it. There's only that much of it hitting the wheel at any one time or hitting that stone at any one time. Because of the way I've got, well, I do have this enough where I can just stay in the middle though. Do that and lighten up. That was the first go pass though, so I usually go a little heavier on the first pass than I do on the successive passes because you're trying to get as much as you can off. There's quite a few scratches in there and you got to take a little bit off. Won't let you go one pass and looking at it, so go hard. Work it for a little bit, then check it. It's feeling softer, it's feeling smoother already underneath the towel, but it's not where. Yeah, I've changed the scratches a little bit. I've still got some some short wave scratches on there, but I've also still got some long wave scratches, and it's starting to polish a little bit in the center, but you can see all the dull spots where the softer areas are at. It's like that's where the softer stuff's at, so that's where I've gone through a layer of the hard stuff and got to the soft stuff or something like that is what it seems like, or maybe got to the crystallized stuff. I don't know. I'm going to try to get this whole thing smooth, and I know I got my worst scratches on there that look like they might be 220 grit scratches are going short ways, but I know they're from this machine or from this wheel, so they're probably 280s, but they're pretty good scratches, so I might have got those off the edge of the wheel. And this wheel usually takes a little bit of work anyway to get it smooth out all the way, so. Do this one long ways just like the first one, see what happens. See if I get those big deep scratches that look like they're bigger. If I can stay in the middle on this one. I just didn't get my ends down thin enough to make it domed this way rather than just this way. I mean, it's not domed much that way either, but I had to dome it some in order to get all those dang kerf marks off there. And the deep gouge kerf marks from the saw blade being so skinny and flexible. Drop it. Okay, you're going to dry off unless you hit it with the towel. Dummy. I know I got a long way to go yet, so I'm going to delude myself for a few seconds. Wow, I got curve marks on both sides. Weird angle. I know they're curve marks. It's in deep gouges is what it is. Those three spots. There's a little scratch, a few little scratches right there, some scratches right around there, a little bit of scratches there, but this side's going to take a little more work. I still got those deep scratches from hitting this edge. And then two of the kerf mark sections right there. But I didn't get out with these other two wheels. Got some weird scratches going across the kerf mark. Well, this kerf mark and then a little bit past this kerf mark. But they're just scratches. And we got quite a few scratches going this way and this way. Still. see all the white spots on it where it's hits, little scratches. Bulldog scratches coming across this way where we had those shallow gashes. I got some that way too. Let's go to the next wheel and see what I can get out there. Move this camera. That's not going to take long. Back it up a little more, or zoom it out a little bit more so that when I go to look over here, I'm not blocking you out. I got to realizing that on the last video I edited. I've been bringing it from one of these over here, bringing it over, clear all the way over to here, and then you couldn't see what I was doing because it stopped right here. Sorry. Oh, I might want to turn on some water. Well, I can't look at it. Look down here too. Face. Yeah. Well, yes, because it don't matter. They're both just as bad. But this one's the worst, though. But I didn't get any major scratches with dropping back a wheel, but I did get major dull spots, just no scratches. So I traded one for the other, traded the scratches for the dull spots. I can deal with that. I can clean up the dull spots on this one. Okay. Next wheel. Actually, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to rest me real quick. Okay, I'm back. Let's see if we can't finish this thing up. a lot better. Closer. How good that was water. I had a big deep scratch going that way that wasn't there before, and it was water. Just a little smear of water. I still got like white shadows from the scratches, but they're not. They may be some kind of inclusions too. I see some down in this darker stuff. It's clearer. It's about as clear as this. It's just darker. It's got fortification lines on the backside. You can see those, but they also look like a scratch because they're white. Well, these on this line down here you can't see, or this line down here. I can see them in there, but you can't see them on the surface. I take that back. You can. Okay, I'll shut up now. Before this machine makes me a liar again. Before I make myself a liar again. I'm not blaming it on the machine. Pits. That's on that stuff anyway. On that basalt. I think it's basalt. I don't think it's agate. Some of it's taking a shine, but basalt will take a shine, just not all of it. Take that back. It just depends on which way you look at this side, as whether they look like pits or scratches. I don't know. This side looks more pits than scratches. This side looks more scratches than pits. And this is what I was wanting to use as the front side because of these two almost eyes. Hanging that like that, it'll look pretty cool. I was thinking about maybe drilling a hole in it up here at the top, but still see some fortification lines in that between this darker brown and the basalt. There are still a few fortification lines going across that, and it's kind of got a wave pattern to it, a little bit of a wave pattern. It's not a lace by any means, but you can see there's like a chevron pattern coming in here, another one here. This one's only half a chevron because it stops here, but this kind of has a few little lines that go like this if you get it right. So does this down here. And there's quite a few fortification lines right there. Well, not quite a few, there's 2 or 3. But they stop at where it curves to the lowest section. But then there's 5 or 6 right there. These kind of go in and over and back and out. They're just harder to see. And these ones here are more yellow, like this little inclusion here. Oh, I hit flat too. Luckily there's nothing underneath the bottom of that. I'm going to take a break before I drop something else. Okay, I'm back. Let's finish this stone off. I still got some work to do on the 1200 grit. It just feels so smooth. It's almost like there's nothing there. I can still feel stuff on that one, but it don't seem to be doing anything. This one feels the most rough, but it's because it's a 280 grit. These are so scratched up looking. This one here I can tell is almost completely gone. That's probably what's wrong with this one. That looks bad. This one still looks not too bad. Yeah, well. What happens when you use the heck out of them and abuse them? Too bad. There we go. Not looking too bad if it wasn't for all the how easy it is for you to see that. Just a bunch of scratches in it. And that was a better reflection on that side. But we'll see what we got. My water, I've only used about that much water out of that 10-gallon barrel. Afraid to drop back to the 280 grit because I got a feeling I put just the same kind of scratches on there, and I can't run it sideways on it because these two edges have got way too much grit, or whatever it is that's causing the scratches. Big crystals, bigger crystals than they should have, or bigger diamond grit than it should have on the edges. Or the fact that it's kind of wrapped back around and doubled up on it and it's higher than the rest of it, or I don't know. You know, this middle, or the 220 grit, the steel wheel, the reason why I was talking about it earlier, it looks like it's got some places that haven't been touched by a rock, but yet other places it's slick, like it doesn't have any grit at all, and that's the steel wheel, so that grit should be sticking above the steel. I'm thinking it's the same with this resin wheels, that they should be, the grit should still be sticking up. You should still be able to see it at least, or at least the dust around it where it's higher than the resin itself, but I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how they work, whether the resin comes off and the crystals come off the same rate as the resin does, or how that works. Give that a shot and see what happens. Oh, I didn't change glasses yet. I may have to go back to the 220 after all. I see scratches that more now than I didn't see before. Oh, that's much easier to see. Got more out than I thought I did. Still got those long angle scratches, but that one looks like it's almost a gouge. It's pretty wide. And I haven't gotten it any thinner since I started, so I think it's an inclusion. Getting ready to dry that off. I'm going to go over the whole thing first. Get the little smears out of it from the 600 grit. They look like smears. 600 grit scratches is what it is. They just look like smears, I'm assuming. Got more grit on there than I thought it did. Of course, it took a while to get those smears left, and it was mostly because there were places I was going over it. Not hitting the whole stone on the whole face, or the whole wheel on the whole face on the stone. Right at the edges where it was kind of smearing, because it was just the edge that was touching right at the rounded spot. Okay, I'm going to go back to the 3000, and then I'm going to try something. Probably should be shot for doing it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to see if maybe my 1200 and I think it's 1200. Yeah, 1200 and 3000. See if those will take out those. Because all these scratches are on the face, and it's not as rounded as it should be. So it's pretty flat still. And that might be why I'm not getting these out, because when I press it down hard enough to get it to the center, to get it to touch the center of the stone, because it's cupped on the edges of the wheel like this, by the time I get it pressed back out, then I'm putting too much pressure on the center of the wheel, and it's still not enough to get the scratches out, because that's the most used place on the wheel, because it's usually always something in the center. I'll try to stay away from the edges as much as I can usually, but I get out as close as I can to the edges. We're on the flat lap, so I see if I can get those scratches out. I'm not going to take it to the aluminum. I may even have to come back over here to get the edges, because I can't do anything with this at all on the flat lap. Nothing. If I was to take it to the aluminum oxide, all I'd be working on is basically the center of the face. And I could wrap around the edges a little bit, but I'm not going to be able to get this edge at all. But you can still see hopefully you can see cloudy spots. This side I don't think it has any. And I pretty much got them all off of this side before I went back to the other side, so it's not got any. Okay. I'm gonna have to redo the camera here. Okay, I'm back. I believe I'm gonna show this video as how not to milk a dead horse. I got all these scratches on here still. And this is day number 5, I do believe. I've taken it to the flat lap twice. I've run it on these discs twice, on the last 3 discs. I even did this disc a couple of times extra. And I still got scratches and pits. Those were my resin wheels, and I put back on my Nova wheels. I stopped with them. I took them off before they were wore out, just because I knew that the other ones wasn't going to last as long. And I didn't think they were going to last as long. I didn't know that for a fact. I'd heard that the Nova wheels last longer. Anyway, that's why I bought them, or that's why I got the machine with them on there. And I ordered the resin wheels just as a backup. But when I thought these were going bad, it's because I was putting too much pressure on them, I'm pretty sure. So I'm pretty sure that's what was going on when I thought they were wore out. But I don't know if you can see all those scratches or not. It's hard to get it in decent light. And pits. But anyway, I'll find out when I think we're running kind of low. We've had an ice storm. So for the last 2 days, we've been with and without power. Well, 2 days before this, we had power most of the day yesterday. I think it came on 4 o'clock, something like that, 3 or 4, maybe earlier than that. So I'm going to take it back to this wheel and see if I can't get rid of some of these scratches. I'm going to run it in the middle because I think I was getting my scratches on the outside edges. Or not on the outside edges. Well, on the outside edges of the wheel, not on the outside edges of the rock. And I think I'm going to use my magnifier today. Some of that was that I couldn't see them because the stone, when it's rough, it's all powdery looking no matter what you think or what you think you're looking at. It's mostly looks like powder when you're, especially coming off these first 2 wheels. As if those were 80 grit scratches. I think that may have been a mistake. We went to 1200. This is cutting too much. It's almost like the it's almost like it's going to be. It's almost like that's the size scratches that I had on there last time. So let's go with the 1200. I know the 1200. All 3 of those last discs, just you couldn't feel the grit on them at all. You couldn't even see it shining back at you. These ones here, you can see it shining back at you when they're dry. They look like they're few and far between, but If this don't work, I'm sticking it in a vibratory tumbler. I know that'll work. It'll be 2 more days, but still. That's a breaker. Imagine that. We must still, but I'll be running at the right wattage as we're supposed to. We still got ice out there and it's colder than heck. Okay, I'm back. I think what it was, I had the second heater going because it got down to 16 last night. It's supposed to get to -6 tonight according to AccuWeather. So I'll have to turn it back on later this evening, but I'm all right now. I won't need it right now. Oh yeah, that come on a lot quicker this time. That's what it was, why it didn't come on so fast the last time. But it's starting to shine again. Of course, it's looking cloudy. Which I knew it would, but that's because of the smaller scratches that should come off with the 3000. Actually, I think that's got something to do with the rock itself. It does. Let's see if I can get this. See this top right there between my fingers. Going down this way. From there to there anyway, in that cloudier spot. Let's see if I can get it to show up there. You can see the fortification lines are shinier than some of the rest of it. I think the fortification lines are what's cloudy. Yeah, the fortification lines are what's cloudy. I even think there's inclusions up on this top part up there that are doing the same thing. See what this looks like on the editing. It's just kind of weird. It's patterns that are showing up and you can see them reflected in the light or in the stone itself. You can see what's causing the pattern. I got some more over here. There's like a spill, almost like a spill on top of it, a spot. It's round and it's got 2 legs coming off of it going this way. And it goes to another kind of a rounded end. But you can see that in the colors underneath, and this white spot here along the edges of it's kind of got a ripple pattern. Huh. I didn't see that on the other one. May have been because I was getting tired of messing with this rock. And it may have been because I wasn't getting as good of a shine on it. 'Cause I know after this 1200, I don't think I had this good of a shine. I might have. Glad I didn't wait till these were completely wore out. No wheels. You can already see my scratches are gone. See the big side, or the lower side of that face. I think I've got purification lines in there that are kind of have a little bit of a shiller on them, like the quartz is reflected back at you on this edge, on this top edge up here. Maybe not. I do have one fracture on that edge, but, or inclusion, whatever the heck it is. It's right here in this little bubble. That was lint. Got lint and dust from this towel. Short wave scratches on the edge of that rounded part right in here. I think that's what was making it look like my inclusions was shining back at me. Okay, that's ready to take the next wheel. Oh, I'm sorry. Ah! I just did both of those wheels. Well, you couldn't even see it. Man. Let me go back and do that again. Let's not. I'm sorry. I forgot to after I stopped with this wheel, I meant to refocus it on these three, and I didn't do it. Okay. You can hear all the grit in this one. This one wasn't anywhere close to being wore out. Quick touch up just to run the whole face on an even keel. Stern lit. Oh yeah, we're done. There's the stone. Maybe that won't overshadow it as much. And there's those two eyes. Kind of almost looks like an owl. If I'd have been able to keep the eyeball, the center, or the iris, or the pupil, there was like a pupil in this one. You can see it's a little lighter colored, but there was kind of like this one. It had like a darker eye in it up here, a little higher up, but because it was kind of at an angle like this, it kind of went in like this. The dust on the back of that. You can see all the fortification lines. Fortification lines coming, they come down and over. These ones kind of go out and down. Fortification lines all up in through here too. Fortification lines around that. And up here. Nice stone. And now let me put it up here where you can see it. Looks a lot better than it did last time. A lot better. Well, that's the video. Finally. And I think I'm going to title this one, Let's Try Not to Beat a Dead Horse. I got a shiny spot right there, or a cloudy spot right there. Didn't look right. It may be the, yeah, got it out. And that was on the back side, so anyway, but it just struck my eye. Oh, that's one of them. It's part of that fortification line. It's right in there, the little gray fortification line. That's why they're cloudy. Anyway, oh, let me zoom this back in. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. And I'm going to name this one How Not to Beat a Dead Horse. Well, I may not say How Not to Beat a Dead Horse. I may charge this. Stop being stubborn. Change your wheels. And stop mistreating your wheels. But anyway, thanks. Please like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment. All kinds of comments. You can beat me up for this one. I'm already beating myself pretty good over it, but you can beat me up some more if you want to. I don't mind. I sometimes get notions for things that I shouldn't be doing. So anyway, have a good day.